All right, shalom. I give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the great millstone that rule Israel well. They help us grow in the spirit. And shalom to the rest of the elect and the rest of the brothers out there teaching. Breaking news. It's just been announced that there have been no charges for Wilson thus far. We have the police out here with the riot gear. Waiting for something to happen. You have this Edomite here. Basically, he's giving the account of what happened, and basically how what happened between Wilson and Brown. There was no foul play that Wilson had did. So I'm gonna play a little bit and just have you see what is going on.
Vehicle and chased after him. Some witnesses stated Wilson fired at Mr. Brown as he chased after him, striking him. At least one witness saying he struck, or one of those shots struck Mr. Brown. Others stated that he did not fire until Mr. Brown turned and came back toward Officer Wilson. At least one witness stated that as Officer Wilson got out of his vehicle, he shot Mr. Brown multiple times as Mr. Brown stood next to the vehicle. Yet another witness stated that Officer Wilson stuck his gun out the window and fired at Mr. Brown as Mr. Brown was running. One witness stated there were actually 2 police vehicles and 4 officers present, but only one officer fired a weapon. Most witnesses agreed that near the corner of Canfield and Copper Creek, Mr. Brown stopped and turned around facing Officer Wilson. Some said Mr. Brown did not move toward Officer Wilson at all, but was shot multiple times as he stood near the corner with his hands raised. In subsequent interviews with law enforcement or their testimony before the grand jury, many of the same witnesses acknowledged that they didn't actually see the shooting. Some were running for cover, some were relating what they heard from others, or as I said, what they assumed happened in that case. Several other witnesses maintained their original statement that Mr. Brown had his hands in the air and was not moving toward the officer when he was shot. Others said that he was shot, Several witnesses stated that Mr. Brown did not raise his hands at all, or that he raised them briefly and then dropped them and turned toward Officer Wilson, who then fired several rounds. Other witnesses stated that Mr. Brown stopped for a very brief period, then moved toward Officer Wilson again. One described his movement toward Officer Wilson as a full charge. According to some witnesses, Officer Wilson stopped firing when Mr. Brown stopped moving toward him.
This is basically it, man.
Firing when Mr. Brown.
There's been no charges for this guy Wilson, which means no indictment. Okay, now they didn't use the word indictment here on Al Jazeera. And but if you look in other news sources, it'll show you that there's been no indictment. I'm just going to read this quick from the USA Today. It says, no indictment in Ferguson case. A white police officer would not face charges for fatally shooting an unarmed black teenager in a case that set off violent protests and racial unrest throughout the nation. A St. Louis County grand jury declined to indict Officer Darren Wilson, 28, for firing 6 shots in the August confrontation that killed 18-year-old Michael Brown, St. Louis County prosecutor Robert McCulloch said Monday night. And that's as we speak, as you can see on the screen. So basically that's it, So the only thing left to see now is riots break out or not. But Lord willing, they happen, man. But there you go, man. The so-called white man cares nothing about the Israelite man, the so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American. And this is really just a wake-up call for you niggas, you spicks, and you Uncle Tomahawks out there. You 2/3 of Israel that disbelieve that when we come out there and we tell you as the prophets of the Lord that this man is your enemy. You want to march and you want to protest, but it's to no avail, man. Okay? They had the evidence, they went over it, and ultimately it was up to you had these 9 white jurors and 3 so-called blacks, and all they needed was 9 jurors to declare the man not guilty, or no indictment, or no charges. Like I said, 9 so-called white jurors, Edomites, and 3 so-called black jurors. All right, so you know, you put 2 and 2 together, okay? But with that, you know, that's I'm in it there on this breaking news. All praise and glory and honor goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and shalom to the elect.